Welcome to Friday. It's April 16th, 2021. Yep, it's April. It's not January. It is April. It is going to get a little better this weekend, so I want to start off this podcast with a little bit of good news. We do have a modest break coming this weekend. The current winter weather we have now is going to slowly wind down and just make today just cold and miserable. Strong cold front comes in Sunday night and Monday. So even though you're going to see some better weather this weekend, especially on Sunday. Sunday's the day to get outside. A very strong cold front for this time of year plows out of the Northwest Territories and right into the heart of the Rockies and High Plains. So next week starts off very cold, and we're going to have travel concerns. This is one of these really fast-moving fronts that brings a rapid deterioration of weather for travelers. If you're going to be traveling across Montana, Wyoming, and into Colorado, parts of western Nebraska and South Dakota, from late Sunday night through late Monday night, you're going to run into some travel problems over the mountain passes and the interstates. It is going to be extremely cold for this time of year, Monday through Wednesday. I know no one wants to hear that, but we are looking at some really cold air coming in behind this front, and we'll show you that here in a minute. It still looks warmer by next weekend, but folks, it's still going to be a while. So we're still not looking at one of those slam dunk situations where I can tell you we see 60s and 70s for a long stretch. It's going to be another 7 days. And, even when we look at the long term, there's some concerns about the overall trend still being really stubborn to warm up. We'll show you that as well. Today, we've got a very amplified flow. We've got this big trough off the west coast, a high pressure ridge along the west coast, and this big area of low pressure over the central and eastern areas of the nation. I mean, it's just not us that's cold. Everybody's across the region, across most of the nation, is colder, at least colder than average. Of course, we're the coldest of cold right here if you compare to normals. The low that came in slowly over the week is now heading to the Midwest and moving out, but it's going to move slowly, going to just kind of creep along. So we're in the soup today, tonight, into early Saturday. Now, by Sunday afternoon, we have the low moving away. We do have some warmer air trying to push in here from the west coast as the high pressure ridge, if we were to draw the ridge axis, is actually pushing a little bit more to the east, and that's going to help make Sunday a little bit warmer. But notice the winds aloft are still coming in from the northwest. So Sunday is going to be warmer, but just relatively warmer. Here is that little system we've been showing you all week. It's not backing off. This wave, while it looks very tame, it doesn't look like much of a system. If we were to look at the trajectory of the air behind it, see where it's coming from? It's coming right from the Arctic Circle. So the air with this front is really, really cold coming in behind it. Now this is for Sunday afternoon. The frontal system on the ground will be about the Montana-Canadian border by Sunday afternoon, and by Monday, this front will barrel through the area. These are temperatures relative to normal for Sunday afternoon, and you can see here's that next cold wave, here's the current cold wave, and you can see this little sliver of orange trying to push into some areas. This is just this little wedge of warmer air that's coming in Saturday and Sunday, but here comes this next wave coming on through. And as we get into Monday afternoon, that cold air pocket just slides in, bringing a band of snow with it and a big drop in temperatures. And notice the flow with the jet stream remains very amplified, still coming in from the north. And we've got to worry about this little wave right here as well, maybe for the middle of the week. We'll keep an eye on that for you. So any ground regame on Saturday and Sunday with better weather, it just gets erased Monday and Tuesday. This is what the precipitation looks like with the current storm. So for the rest of today into Saturday morning, you can see it's generally light precipitation that's falling. The Colorado mountains will do well. We'll see some bigger rain and snow activity out here where they need it across parts of the central high plains. But for the Rockies and the Great Basin, the storm system is going to slowly wind down today. Here are temperatures relative to average for Monday afternoon, and you can see all the purple there, and you can just see this big wedge of cold coming out of Canada and into the region. Again, these are temperatures relative to average, so you can see relative to average, it's warmer up there. That's what's driving the cold air south into the region here. As we go in to look at the precipitation with the front, this is why we're concerned that late Sunday night through Monday, we're going to have some travel problems, whether it's Interstate 90, I-25, or I-80 Sunday night into Monday. Then during the day, Monday and the Tuesday, I-70 is going to be a problem in the high country of Colorado, as some of this moisture right up here Sunday night and Monday will slide into Colorado as we get into Monday afternoon, Monday night, and Tuesday. And the cold air just pours in behind it. So if we put fresh snow on the ground, and I think we will, late Sunday night through late Monday, and here's the snow forecast coming in. The bighorns are probably going to get a really good shot of snow out of this, beartooths as well. As this front comes in and drops this snow, and then as skies clear out, these are not temperatures in Celsius, folks. I am showing you the potential temperature range for overnight low temperatures by Tuesday morning behind this front. That is a -3 in parts of eastern Carbon County, Wyoming. Anywhere you see these gray areas, those are single digits or below 0. Look at Laramie, 2, 8 in Cheyenne, 6 in Wheatland, 8 in Casper, 5 in Buffalo. These are just ridiculously cold temperatures. Now this is for Tuesday morning. For Wednesday morning, it gets worse. -8 in Laramie. Now, will it be -8 in Laramie? I don't know. The model could be overdoing it. In fact, we have some disagreements in the modeling, but I'll tell you, there's precedent for this. In fact, in the middle of April last year, we had a cold wave that was just as intense as this one coming on through. Now, there is a disagreement in the modeling. What I'm showing you here is the European model, which has these single digits and sub-zero temperatures for Tuesday night and for Monday night. Now, if you look at the American model, what's known as the GFS model, it's not nearly as cold. Look at this. For Wednesday morning, it has a low of Laramie of 26. The European model has a low of -8. So you're talking about a 34-degree difference between the modeling. I hate to tell you this, but we're thinking that this model will be more correct. Will it be this cold? I don't think so, but it is not going to be this warm either Wednesday morning and when you wake up to parts of southern Wyoming and northern Colorado. So this is a really significant cold wave, and we're going with this model because of the source region. The source of this cold air is from the Northwest Territories and near the Arctic Circle. It's not a Pacific air mass. It's one coming right out of the higher latitudes. And one thing that'll happen, if we get fresh snow on the ground and skies clear, then the bottom falls out of the thermometer. Now, long term, this is what the pattern starts to evolve. By late next week, a more westerly flow. We showed you this yesterday. This should result in late next week and next weekend it being warmer. But we still have these pockets of really cold air up here in these northern latitudes. So even though we're going to warm up late next week and into next weekend, it's not a foregone conclusion that it's going to hold. So I have to keep everyone's expectations in check. With next week's podcast, obviously we'll be tracking that. One thing that's a bit discouraging is that the new 30-day outlook from the European model shows that the tendency through the middle of May is for colder than normal temperatures from the Continental Divide and points east. For a large part of North America, the first half of May and the last days of April will be below average with temperatures. Now, a lot of this blue here could be skewed to what's happening right now, but any hopes of a consistent warm pattern, folks, I'm afraid to say is still on hold, at least for another week. Have yourself a good weekend, despite all that depressing weather news. Hopefully things look a little bit different on Monday. Have a good weekend, stay warm, and take advantage of the better weather coming up Saturday and Sunday.